So I'm a member of the local residents forum where I live, or a Facebook group rather. And there's a tremendous conversation that occurs continually in the realm of cats. Cats that are missing, cats that are greatly missed, and who has seen it, and cats that have been found squashed on the road. And those things are presented as great tragedies, or cats that may seem to be malnourished and unkempt. A similar degree of concern isn't really extended to people, generally speaking, because the unkempt and malnourished people are feared because of their ways. But nobody ever really remarks on the fact that there are far too many cats in the land, serving no useful purpose other than to feed the vanity of their self-proclaimed owners. The keeping of cats, apart from the control of rodents, really is only a nuisance, these creatures. If we discount the conceit that we can have a relationship with them. You can do that, I know. You're deceiving yourself when you do it. You're engaging in a little bit of theatre. These things are affectations. They're just vanities. Animals don't care for you. They don't love you. They rely on you for their food and warmth sometimes. But if people prefer to keep animals, I mean, that's their choice. I don't have any argument with them. But I think they should keep the animals within the confines of their own property, rather than allowing them to run loose around the streets of such a densely inhabited area. Because cats are predatory creatures, and they prey upon rodents and small birds. They're quite effective killers. And sometimes they upset the ecosystem, I suppose you could call it. Because why should there be so many of these scavengers loose in the area just to feed the vanity of the residents? Well, the same argument holds true of any pet, really. I understand that, a small child might want to keep a gerbil or a hamster. That used to be something you could do when you were a child. But when you are an adult, you're an adult. Really, those things become conceits. And this holds true also for dogs, of course, which have seduced many with their charm and their apparently resolute and faithful nature that they seem to present. But again, they're not faithful in the way that a man or a woman can be faithful or unfaithful. They are responding to atavistic impulses, and it looks like an interplay of communication. I mean, it is communication, I suppose, but it's not meaningful communication because they don't have a conscious mind. They're not aware of time and regret and sadness. These are things that are unique to men and women. And they're really in the emotional realm, and you can transfer them to an animal, of course, and even to an object sometimes. But it's not really, I think, advisable behavior. And it leads to problems, this ridiculous idea that everybody has to have a dog before they can go for a walk. And the spread of excreta and all these people picking up excreta in plastic bags and throwing it in the bin, and those bins really stink if you get anywhere near them. There's nothing wrong with a dog. There's nothing wrong with 2 or 3 dogs. It's hundreds and hundreds of dogs that become a problem, because there's no end to this idea, and it's seen as being also perhaps a status symbol. When I was in Norwich, which has become very much a university town, there being very little industry as far as I know in the area, although I will offer my excuses to any local manufacturers. Perhaps there are some. But when I walked along the river at 7 o'clock in the morning, I encountered no less than 3 Irish wolfhounds being led around by 3 different people. There's no need to keep an Irish wolfhound in the centre of Norwich, I'm sorry, other than to feed your conceit. They're very expensive dogs to purchase, and they will be expensive to keep as well, of course. Very large creatures, very beautiful and elegant indeed. But maybe just spend £3,000 on a beautiful painting, because that's what you're doing. I don't mind a bit of trade in dogs, I mean, I'm not trying to lay down the law here. People can do what they want to. It's just that it's too much. Everybody does the same thing, and then it becomes a huge problem. Doesn't matter. In the olden days, there'd always be a few dog fanciers, I'm sure, and catteries. But now it's just become almost de rigueur to have these accessories. And I just feel a little bit annoyed about it sometimes. And I daren't express my opinion on this and other matters because, of course, I'm expressing my opinion, but not on those forums. I don't care to interact with, not on that level, with people who are very uninformed about any of the things that I believe to be important. I think it's rude to start talking to them about matters that are of a more deeply philosophical nature, unless you can enter into a measure of confidence. But sometimes some of the things that I end up saying when hardly thinking about it, when I look at the expression of the person I'm talking to, I can see that they are almost stunned. And that's not a good look. You don't want to go around stunning people, do you? Most impolite.